What up, everybody? It's your boy Sack the King up in this motherfucker, man. Back with another life story. Now, as you can see from the thumbnail, man gets 70 years for spitting on a police officer. Now, let me tell you something. This dude's name is Larry Pearson, and I was locked up with Larry in a Texas jail. Now, this story is from 2008. Matter of fact, it is June of 2008. Matter of fact, no, I'm lying. It's July of 2008. All right? And I know y'all probably wondering, Sack, what the fuck was you doing locked up in a Texas jail? Well, let me take a drink for that one, because this is a story that I was going to tell you guys anyways on YouTube, because it has something to do with, one of my relationships. But I seen this article and I said, hold on, damn, he got 70 years for spitting on a police. And I clicked on it and I read the article and I was like, damn, this is the nigga that I was locked up with in Texas. He was my bunkie. He had the bottom bunk, I had the top bunk. I said, damn, this shit is crazy. All right, so let's go back to 2008. But before I do all that, man, hit that subscribe button below so you can be the first to know and help the channel grow. Also, shout out to all my new subscribers. Shout out to all my viewers. Shout out to all my returning viewers. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, man, hit that subscribe button for your boy. It's free. Plus, I will be giving out $100 to my 1,000th subscriber. Not the 1,000th subscriber. I'm going to pick a subscriber from the 1,000. All right. So back to the story. Now, this story it started in Sacramento, California. And this is what happened. All right. Me and my daughter's mom, we haven't always had the best relationship, even from when we were together and especially when we wasn't together. And I will definitely get all into that in a 3-part series of why my marriage failed. Because, I've noticed that she likes to get on Instagram, mainly. And when she airs out her personal problems or dealings that she has with the people that she's currently dealing with, she always finds a way to bring me up in it. And I'm like, bruh, I haven't been married to you since 2007. That's like almost 20 years. And we haven't even been together since 2004 or 5, which is damn near 20 years. But again, let's not get backtracked. This story goes back to 2008, all right? So my daughter's mom was deployed in Iraq, all right? And, she is the type of person that always feels like she needs to get a one-up on somebody. So if she feels like something is done to her, then she's going to try to one-up you. And this just happens to go into why I ended up getting locked up in Texas with Larry, all right? Now, I remember my mom telling me, longer story short, I remember my mom calling me one day and was like, hey, Chris, don't come over here. Now, mind you, the reason why my mom called me and told me this is because I always keep stuff in my mom's address, right? Especially back in the day, because I was doing a lot of illegal shit and I never wanted the police to come to my house. If they go to my mama's house, they ain't going to find nothing. You know what I'm saying? My mom's on a straight and narrow. They're not going to find nothing. So they ain't going to, at least I'll get the drop like, hey, the police came through looking for you if something was to ever happen, which in this case it was. All right. So, and I wasn't doing nothing illegal. I'm gonna tell y'all what happened. So me and my daughter's mom is going through it. Well, in the midst of all that, she's deployed to Afghanistan, right? And in the midst of us going through it, I guess she decided to make up some story, which obviously she did, to not only get back at me, but probably just to get out of Afghanistan for a week or two. You know what I'm saying? But it came at my expense, and I'm going to tell you how. So my mom was calling me and was like, hey, the Sac Sheriff's Department just pulled up over here. Don't come over here. I'm like, all right, shit. I don't know what's going on, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? I know at this time I didn't do anything. But I'm glad that they went to my mom's house and not my house, because at this time I got like fucking SKSs at my house. I got a couple handguns at my house, so it wouldn't have been a good look, especially when I am in custody of my daughter. You know what I mean? My daughter was probably about 5 at the time, right? So my daughter's mom, longer story short, my daughter's mom was the one that was sending the police to my house, and I couldn't think of why, you know what I mean? So anyways, so I remember my mom told me that they came over there maybe about twice before the final time where the incident occurred, all right? So I remember sitting at my house one day, and I'm like, damn, like, I need to fucking wash my daughter's clothes, like, you know what I mean? But I was waiting for some money to hit my card, and it hadn't hit my card yet, you know what I mean? And I needed to wash these clothes because my daughter didn't have no clean clothes. So I was like, fuck it. I'm about to go over to my mom's house real quick. I'm about to do a little load or two of laundry, and I'm going to come back to my house. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't take no more than an hour, maybe even 2 at the most. Now, mind you, from this time to the point where my mom last told me that the police had showed up was probably about maybe 2 weeks. So I'm thinking, like, I'm going to go over there real quick, boom, bust a little play with this laundry and be back at my crib, you know what I mean? So I go over to my mom's house. I do the laundry. While I'm doing the laundry, I'm chopping it up with my brother, you know what I mean? And all of a sudden, we just see some Sacramento, or actually we heard knock on the door, boom, 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 boom. But we like, these niggas is knocking like the police. So I had my brother go answer the door. But soon as he answered the door, they were like, hey, are you, they said my name. He's like, nah. And they just came off in the house. And at the very same time, my mom had a screen door. Like, if you was looking this way, she had a backyard and she had a pool like this way. But there was a sliding glass door, and I just seen like 5 sheriffs run to the side of it. And simultaneously, they're coming in the house and running up to this door. So I'm like, my daughter's in the living room, me and my brother, you know what I mean? So I'm like, fuck it. Like, they just stormed in the house. They didn't say if they had any warrant or anything. You know what I mean? They just stormed in the house. And they threw me all the way down on the ground in front of my kid. My daughter screaming. You know what I mean? Like, what's going on, Daddy? What's going on? I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Just, it's okay. It's okay. So they like, yeah, we got a warrant for your arrest. And I'm like, for what? And their reasoning for my arrest was, what was it? Violation of a custody order is what my charge ended up being, right? But so they took my daughter to a fucking children's home for the night. I'm like, why can't my daughter just stay here with her family? You know what I mean? And I didn't know what was going on at the time. And I'm like, why are you trying to take my daughter? My brother's here. My mom should be home. Like, nah, leave my daughter here. You can take me to jail. I'll figure it out. But leave my daughter here. They're like, no, we have to take your daughter. You know what I mean? So I ended up finding out what the play was. My daughter's mom had came, you know what I mean, flew to Sacramento, called the police just to, I don't think she knew where my mom lived at the time, you know what I mean? So she called the police, and they came over there to my last known address and gave my daughter to her mom, you know what I mean? Now, mind you, she done flew all the way from Afghanistan just to... Still to this day, I don't know what the even reasoning was behind this, but mainly, like, see, with my daughter's mom, she would like to, like, leave my daughter with her grandparents. Even if she wasn't deployed, she would have her sister come to Germany and watch my daughter so she can do whatever she wanted to do, or she would just fly my daughter to Texas and just dump her off with her grandparents, you know what I'm saying, and go back to Germany or go back to wherever she was going at the time to do whatever she wanted to do, you know what I'm saying? So this wasn't the first time that this happened, because prior to this, and this is probably a whole nother story, the worst Thanksgiving ever. I'll probably tell this story. She did the same thing. You know what I mean? So anyways, longer story short, man. And you'll hear about this a little bit when I tell y'all the married for one night or married for one day. I don't know how I'm going to title it. You know what I'm saying? So look out for that story, because it kind of intertwines with the prequel to this story that I'm telling, right? So they arrest me. They take me to Sac County. They book me. Longer story short, they leave me in there for a month, right? So my cellie is like, my celly is like, hey man, if they don't come pick you up in 30 days, you know what I'm saying, they gotta let you go. Cause you got an out of state warrant. I had a no bond. I didn't have no bond. It was a no bond hold. And it was a felony charge, you know what I'm saying, out of the state of Texas. So what she did was she called the police in Texas. They called the Sacramento Sheriff's Department, and they kind of like spearheaded this whole thing, right? And till this day, it was for no reason at all. Like, that shit ended up fucking up a lot of shit for me. And it's like, you know, longer story short, it fucked up some shit for me. So they got me in Sac County. I'm in there for about a month. You know what I mean? Damn near a month to the day, 30 days. So they called me. They're like, "Hey, roll it up." My celly was like, "See, I told you." You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, "All right, bet." I was over there on 5 West with the Crips. You feel me? And so I roll it up. You know what I mean? And they take me down to like where you're gonna get released, the release tank. So I remember walking past, you know, when I'm going to the tank, I walked past and it was 2 like marshals right here. I don't even remember what they were. If they were like Texas marshals or sheriffs from Texas, you know what I mean? I didn't even recognize them at the time. I'm so focused on getting out and going home, you know what I'm saying? So I go to the holding cell and they give me my clothes that I had on. So I'm like, hey, I'm asking around like, hey, are y'all about to be released? Everybody's like, yeah, you know, niggas got on their civilian clothes. So they give me a brown paper bag and they got my civilian clothes. So I'm like, hell yeah, nigga, I'll worry about the, you know, what's going on with my daughter when I get out, you know what I mean? Cause by then my mom had came to visit me and she told me that my daughter's mom had came over there and got her. So I'm like, all right, cool. Well, they should release me and then I'll settle all this shit when it's time, you know what I mean? That wasn't the end of the story. So soon as I put on my clothes, they call my name. And I'm like, hell yeah, I'm about to get released. You know what I'm saying? So I'll walk out. Soon as I walk out, here's these 2 marshals right there from Texas. You know what I mean? And they like, hey, are you such and such? I'm like, yeah. They like, place your hands in front of you. And they handcuffed me. They shackled me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm shackled up from by the waist with some handcuffs. They shackled my feet like I'm a serial killer or something. You know when you see them motherfucking jail things and it's like, dead man walking, get out the way. You know what I'm saying? This is how I'm shackled the fuck up now. I'm in my civilian clothes, but I'm shackled up. So I'm like, they like, we from Texas. We came to get you. And I'm like, shit. You know, I'm going to ask questions as soon as we get to going. But the first question I asked was, hey, are we flying or are we driving? And they like, well, we not something to fly. And I'm like, damn, they gonna drive me all the way to Texas like this? Like, hell no. So longer story short, I'm walking out to the garage and they got a fucking truck from Texas, you know what I mean? Big ass fucking F-750. It was one of them big ass trucks, you know what I mean? So they put me in the back, you know what I mean? Now mind you, they driving me all the way to fucking Texas. Do you know how long it takes to get from Sacramento to Texas, bruh? Like 3 or 4 fucking days. And it made it even longer because I had to spend the night in the Phoenix County jail because it ain't just a 1-day trip, right? So I'm hella mad about this shit. It's a whole complete silence. You know what I mean? From like Sacramento to like Fresno. We ain't saying shit to each other. You know what I'm saying? But I got hella questions. So finally, I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? You know what I'm saying? And they like basically telling me like, yeah, your ex-wife put out a warrant for you. You know what I mean? But the way that they were telling the story is like, she made it seem like I came to Texas one day and just kidnapped my daughter from her parents' house and just took her back to California with me, which was not the fucking case. You know what I mean? And I learned, and I was smarter than what she thought because, like I said, she had already pulled some shit prior to me even getting my daughter from Texas, right? So I remember when I flew to Texas to get my daughter, it was in February of 2008. This is in July of 2008, right? The beginning of July. So when I flew to get my daughter, I said, I'm not going to let her trick me into no shit like what she was trying to trick me into at this point, right? So I never left the airport. I made my daughter's grandparents bring her to the airport to me, and then I got on a plane with her, and then I left. And the reason for that was because after we in the post 9/11 after this point, so there's cameras everywhere. So nobody could ever come back and be like, yeah, he kidnapped his daughter. He just came in the middle of the night and took her, or no shit like that. Like, no, you brought my daughter to me, and we flew on a plane. It was all consensual. You know what I'm saying? And agreed upon. So, and that's what happened. And that's why, later on this shit ended up getting tossed the fuck out. You know what I mean? But anyways, so I remember them telling me what was going on, and I'm like, oh, hell no. Like, she's got y'all motherfuckers on a fucking dummy mission right now, because that's not even how it happened. And I explained to them what happened. And I remember them telling me like, yeah, man, your ex-wife is a bitch. She's like a real fucking bitch. Like, our interactions with her, she's just a fucking bitch. I'm like, bruh, I was married to her. Look at what I'm going through right now. So, longer story short, man, I'm talking to these police. It's a long drive from fucking Sacramento to Texas. So, like I said, we didn't say nothing to each other for like the first 4 hours from Sac to Fresno. You know what I mean? But after that, I wanted to know what the fuck was going on. So I let them tell her side of the story, and then I told them my side of the story. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not lying about anything that I'm saying, but longer story short, by time we got to Texas, they were like, you know what, man? This is some bullshit. Like, we really are on a dummy mission, and we're going to do whatever we can to help you get out this situation. I'm like, all right, man. Like, I told y'all the truth. You go and check what I said, and it's gonna check out. You know what I mean? Y'all can go to the airport and look and request the footage from them, and you're gonna see I never left the airport. They brought my daughter to me. You know what I mean? She just called y'all on some bullshit, had y'all come all the way to California, come get me, and it was for nothing. You know what I mean? So, anyways, I'm in this motherfucking Rankin, Texas jail. They took me to Rankin, Texas, right? Now, coincidentally, my daughter's mom and whole family are from Rankin, Texas, all right? It's a small little fucking town about an hour south of Midland, Texas. You know what I mean? And coincidentally, I could see her parents' house from the jail. You know what I mean? So part of me is like, okay, I'm fucking mad, but I need to get this shit situated. The other part of me is like, you know what? Shit. Like I said, her whole family's from Texas. So, like, two of the people that worked there was her family members, and I'm like, hey, they like, what are you doing here? I'm like, y'all tell me what I'm doing here. Anyways, they throw me in one of these pods. Now, in the pods in Texas jail, it's like 8 of us in a cell. You know what I mean? And they got 2 tables in the middle, and they got a TV. Now it's like 2 white dudes, me, Larry, and the rest is like some Mexican cats. You feel me? It's like 4 Mexican cats, 2 white dudes, and me and Larry. And we at the very end, we bunked up. You know what I'm saying? So, longer story short, I'm there for like a whole month. You know what I mean? Before finally they just let me bail out and go back to California. Now, mind you, in these 2 months that I'm in jail, I still got bills to pay. I still had a job, which I ended up losing the job because obviously I got arrested and can't go to work. 2, I had to sell off a lot of shit just to pay my rent for that month, because this happened on June 8th of 2008. You know what I'm saying? I had to sell off some shit just to pay my bills for June and pay my rent and other bills in July. You know what I'm saying? So it fucked me over twice. And on top of that, I gotta find my own way home to California from Texas. So I gotta go all the way back another 3 or 4 days after being locked up for 2 months, 1 month in Sacramento and 1 month in Texas. But like I said, I was locked up with Larry, and he was a cool ass dude. I think he was from like north of Texas. Is it Arlington or is it Lubbock? It's either Arlington or Lubbock. Whatever the one, I think it's Lubbock, Texas he's from. You know what I mean? I think that's the city, like kind of like by where the square is at the top of Texas. He's from like Lubbock, Texas or something. Cool ass nigga though, you feel me? Like, we used to kick it up all night to stay up. We had a TV in there so we could watch TV till like around 12 before they shut that shit off. Or 10, but they used to keep it on till 12 because like I said, I knew one of the guards. The guard was actually married to my ex-wife's brother. So she would like leave the TV on for us until like 12, you know what I mean? The food there was bomb as fuck though. I ain't even gonna lie. That little jail had some bomb ass food, like some home cooked food damn near. But, you know, I remember Larry running a fade with like two of the Mexican niggas. They tried to jump the nigga. I jumped off the bunk like, hold up, bruh. That ain't going down in here like that. You know what I'm saying? So they was like, all right, well, we both want to fight him. But I'm like, shit, y'all both ain't going to fight him at once. Like, I'm going to get down too. They like, nah, bro, we ain't got no problem with you. I'm like, nigga, y'all ain't jumping him. Fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? So he ended up running a fade with both of them. You know what I'm saying? He ran a fade with the fat nigga first. Then, you know, after he whooped both of these niggas though. You feel me? So he whooped the fat nigga first, and then then they took a break for like an hour, and then he whooped the other nigga right after that. You know what I'm saying? Because after the first nigga got whooped, the other nigga was kind of like reluctant. He didn't know if he wanted to fight or not. They thought that they was going to jump this nigga, but I wasn't letting it go down like that. You feel me? Like, nah, nigga, you ain't finna jump the nigga up in here, because next y'all niggas gonna be trying to jump me. Fuck out of here, nigga. Y'all niggas got the numbers, but it ain't going down like that. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, man, I remember Larry, he was still in there when I got out, man. But I was like, hey, bro, give me your address and shit. Nigga, you hella cool. Add me on MySpace. I think we was still on MySpace back then. You know what I mean? Like, this is like right before the Facebook wave hit. But I remember he used to chop it up with me, and we kind of lost contact and shit like that. But he was in there on some bullshit. I want to say he had a strap. He got caught with a strap. But they brought him all the way from like Lubbock, Texas, or Arlington, Texas, or somewhere all the way over here to this little ass town, you know what I'm saying? But from what I remember, man, the nigga was hella fucking cool. Like, he was cool. We used to stay up all night and just talk about a whole bunch of other little shit, you know what I mean? And that's pretty, this is kind of like two stories in one. I was locked up with Larry, and I told y'all the story, a random story about how I got locked up on some bullshit, you know what I'm saying? Because nothing ever came of that. They let me out on bail, and I never heard anything else from that. Come to find out, those charges was dropped because she just wanted to get back at me. Once she got my daughter back in possession, the charges was dropped. But this is the fucked up thing. Not only did I lose my job, and I had to sell a bunch of my shit just to pay my bills for 2 months, but nothing ever happened to her for that. You feel me? Making a false report, nothing ever happened to her because of that. Now, mind you, like, it's not like I want to see the bitch up under the prison, but man, sometimes women get away with shit and they don't never get nothing, no repercussions ever happen to them. A woman can call and make up any fucking thing and nothing will ever happen to them sometimes. And that's some of the shit I don't like about like the family court system and all this other shit, because my charge was breaking a custody order, which I never broke. You feel me? It's just, she can call and lie at any time and they're going to believe her because she's from Texas, and then come and put me through all that shit. And still to this day, like, I'm not mad about the shit. Like, I've gotten over the shit, but it's just like, damn, like, still to this day, it's probably somebody in my situation sitting in jail behind some trumped up fucking charges over a bitch. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man. Prayers to Larry, man. That nigga got 70 extra years for spitting on the police. Like, that's just crazy. And that's why I do not live in Texas, man. I always tell people I will not live in Texas. I don't care how cheap the property is, because them cops still wear cowboy hats, man. And that's already a red flag to a black man. This your boy Sack the King, man. Hit that subscribe button below so you can be the first one to help the channel grow. And I'm out.